I'm so happy, happy-go-lucky me. I just go my way, living every day. I don't worry.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the show. Greetings, ghouls, and welcome to Season 1, Episode 3 of the Hobbesy Horror Screamcast Bros, a program where I, Hobbesy, and my good buddy RJ just kind of BS and vibe our way through the horror film du jour. How are you doing today, RJ? RJ?
Doing pretty good. I know by the time this actually gets released, we are going to be past this 3-day weekend, but about to enjoy a 3-day weekend.
Yes. Yes, lucky. I don't know what those are. I don't know how that works.
Whew, these real jobs, man. They do have some perks.
I'm working a real job, damn it. I work in a nursing home. I live in an environment of sickness and death day in and day out.
I just live in an environment.
I live in an environment. We live in a society. Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah, I'm glad you're here and enjoy your 3-day weekend. I will be doing cutting all weekend because I have the DVD recording to go ahead and cut down, which I don't think there's much to cut. I think I just got to cut off the beginning and silence in the end and then slap our tags on it. And that'll be good to ship out, and that will go live on Monday. I assume, because I haven't recorded 3 stories yet. But the one I have recorded starts off a little shaky, but you know what? It gets real good. Real dramatic. I'll get to that shit. I'm working on it. It's a lot. Life's a lot. Yeah. Anything you looking forward to on your weekend?
Well, I wasn't gonna say like this weekend, but actually,
Or in general, I mean, shit.
Halloween Horror Nights has been releasing about 6 houses now.
Yeah.
And getting very, very excited for that.
For those that don't know, we reside in the Devil's Wang of Florida. We have
I love it.
our little thing called Halloween Horror Nights. Comes around to Universal Studios. I'm sure they've got it in California too, because I mean,
yeah, they do.
Obviously.
But the thing is, Florida is announcing their houses. California is like, where's ours?
Oh, really? Ohio hasn't gotten house
California hasn't
yet.
announced any. California hasn't announced anything yet. Florida's announced 6 houses already.
No shit. Well, maybe they want to surprise folks. Halloween's still a distance off.
But very much looking forward to that. I cannot wait. I'm not sure because I think they usually do about 8 houses, so I'm assuming 2 more, possible, maybe 2 to 4 more houses, if that. But
I was gonna say
I do like what I've seen so far.
let's talk about that for a moment because we're gonna have plenty of time to burn because not gonna really futz around here, guys. Night of the Living Dead has a lot more behind it than it has up front.
But still a great movie and needs to be checked out.
Oh yeah, it's a fantastic movie and definitely needs to be checked out. And read up on the history of it because I was still scrambling for notes up till recording, and you know what? I didn't get everything, and I'm not gonna. But yeah, Halloween Horror Nights this year they've got some rad things coming out for us. I saw the goblin not forest.
It's goblins.
Lunch? It's some kind of eating thing? I don't know.
Yeah, it
Goblin's
almost
Feast?
sounds like it's almost no, it almost made it sound like it was like a gathering place, like a goblin's like I just can't think of the word.
And it's like,
But yeah, they're supposed to have like, like goblins and I think orcs and stuff like that all through, throughout. They have
I'm pulling it
It
up
looked
as you
like
talk,
a
by the way.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looked like they had like a horror sweet shop house,
Yeah,
which sounds very interesting.
bruh.
They have a like a B-roll movie type house, which tell you right now,
Yeah,
that's probably gonna be the fan favorite.
definitely. I think so. Most
Um,
certainly.
they announced. I'm just going off the top of my head here. They announced it's like these three. It's like these three. I think they're supposed to be like siblings or something like that. They have a house like dedicated to that. Can't remember the other ones off the top of my head. I mean, as excited as I am, I was not prepared to talk about the individual houses tonight.
Yeah, my bad. I'm pulling it up. I'm pulling it up. All right, because
No, 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 you're good.
right
You're
now I'm
good.
seeing 6 haunted houses, but this was the
Oh, they
list that
have
was released
a museum
previously.
one. They have a museum one that looks interesting too.
Yes, we've got yes, the triplets of terror. Uh,
That's yeah, that one.
you're invited to the Barmy triplets' birthday bash, but beware, they celebrate by recreating their family's murders. That sounds kind of fucking rad. Uh,
It does.
Monstrous, the monsters of Latin America.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was the other one I completely forgot about.
I think I just heard myself echo. I got excited there. Holy shit. No, what? The monsters of Latin America. What?
Yeah.
So that's the
I
museum
mean,
one.
it's
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no,
Or
that's not the
no.
museum one.
Okay, that's not.
Yeah, the museum one's is a separate
That's a
house.
separate house. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited for this one. Okay, the Museum of Deadly Exhibits.
Yeah, that one. That one sounds interesting.
You decide to visit the new folklore museum exhibit, The Rotting Stone, when an evil escapes from within, destroying everything in its path. That sounds pretty rad. The Major Sweets Candy Factory.
Yeah.
I
Apparently, I think that was like a food truck last year, and now they're making it into like a whole
Oh,
house.
that's rad.
Yeah.
That's like increasing park lore. Holy sh! Do we...
Like, because all of these seem like they're like original ideas instead of like going off a movie. Like last year, they had like a Chucky house, they had Stranger Things, they had
Yeah, it's not
The Last of
franchised this
Us,
time around.
they had Texas Chainsaw, stuff like that. So this one seems more like original ideas from Universal
I
itself,
like
which
that.
I kind of like that better because then you
Yeah.
don't know what to expect going into it.
Yeah, there's not an established
So
expectation of anything.
exactly. So
Yeah.
when it's stuff like that, I'm like, oh shit, they might actually get a scare out of me on this because I don't know what to expect.
The Goblin's Feast. Welcome to the
That's
Goblin's
yeah.
Feast
Okay, so you were right.
Tavern.
Yeah.
And visit the Goblin Village, where a lavish feast is being prepared for goblins, orcs, hobgoblins, and witches. And you're the main
Can't
course.
go wrong there.
Bitch, you said goblins and hobgoblins and orcs? Sign me up.
Exactly. Like
I'm putting on my
I can't
chainmail right now.
I can't wait for Halloween Horror Nights this year.
Done.
Because I know I get one free night. Shit, I might pay for a second or third night. I don't know yet.
I don't know, man. I'm kind of excited.
Might have to look into that frequent fear pass. I don't know.
Oh, we've gone every night for the past 3 weeks. Where does the time go? Job? Question mark. We never left the park. We never left the park. Oh,
But definitely, definitely looking forward to that
yeah,
because
that's exciting.
I think the first night of that starts in August. So
Oh,
that should be
yeah,
fun.
you said they're starting a little earlier this
They're
year?
starting early this year. Yeah, they're starting in August. Usually they start
Hell
like middle
yeah.
of September.
Give me my spooky season where it
And they go
belongs.
and they go all the way through Halloween. Usually like first week of November.
Did we stumble into the best time? Wait, no, it's still capitalism. It's still the broken one. Never mind, guys. But boy, howdy, am I excited to participate in the grand game. uh, yeah, no, that's exciting. That's definitely oof, oof. Still a bit off, but oof. Um, movies coming out. I don't really have a list of movies coming out. But I
Um,
do know I mentioned The Strangers Chapter 1, which I've only seen
that's actually already out.
it. Oh, it already came out? Holy
Yeah,
shit, my
yeah.
dicks.
Apparently, it's in theaters right now, but it does look the other ones were really good. I'm not gonna lie, the first one scared the shit out of me, and it was awesome.
See, what's bad is I'm behind, but the stream schedule is even further behind. So I sound like a double idiot. But hey, by the way, in the future, this movie was already out when I thought it was still not out. Regardless, I saw the first one once, and I don't remember shit about it.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie, like it scared there's some parts in that scared the shit out of me, and I loved every minute of it.
That's one I'm gonna have to revisit and then sit down with this prequel.
Future season.
Maybe. Who knows? Who knows? Not me. I don't even know. I don't even know what the film is for next week.
We'll find out at the end. We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
I've guessed all but one, damn it. uh, are there any other films you got on radar right now?
Not at the moment, no.
It's not Horror but Furious that
Um,
came out. I'm looking at an ad for it right now.
I mean, I do want to see that.
Yes.
Yeah. I loved even the old Mad Max movies, with what's his face in it.
Yeah.
Um,
Mel.
yeah, Mel Gibson, the crazy
Mel.
dude. Um,
He doesn't get a last name
yeah,
anymore.
even the old Mad Max movies, I love those movies. And then Fury Road was excellent, and this movie I've heard is very very good too. It was like on par with Fury Road, because Fury Road was highly rated as well.
Who knows? Maybe we'll fuck around and start a whole second ass podcast on just general movies because I'm not gonna lie. My favorite part of this is just getting to watch movies every week because I don't have a reason to watch film most of the time. Uh,
Yeah, I've been watching more like shows than movies here lately.
yeah, I don't have a lot of
Like,
watch I do. Like I listen to podcasts or I like maybe I'll pop on YouTube and watch some gameplay or something like or listen to a 6 hour retrospective about a franchise.
I mean, well, actually, I did watch a horror movie last week that was actually pretty good.
All right, talk
I
about
think
it.
it
Let's
was on,
go.
I think it was on Prime. It was called The Haunt, I believe it was called.
Mm.
And it's basically about like these college kids. They find a flyer for like a haunted house, and it's out in the middle of nowhere because that's where you want your haunted houses.
Obviously,
And
and clown tents.
they and they're going through the haunted house. It's like, oh, it's not so scary, not so scary. And then, oh, that's blood. Oh, they're trying to kill me all of a sudden. And yeah, it was pretty good. Like, I've
Interesting.
never heard of the movie. I just kind of was like bored trying to find something on, and it was good. I do recommend a watch. Like, it was pretty out there.
Nice, nice. I'm gonna have to look into it. I don't remember the last time I opened Prime. It
Well,
might have been to
you know
watch
the
Evangelion.
the biggest reason I got Prime besides free shipping was to watch The Boys. So
That's fair. Uh, more product that I have not consumed, sadly. Pardon me. Yeah, I don't have anything else on my radar, sadly. There's a book coming out that I kind of want to pick up, that I didn't make note of, and I feel really badly. And it's also not in my recent Google searches. I think it's Witchcraft for Wayward Girls or something of that nature. Let me have a quick look, gang.
is this like a book, like a novel, or is it kind of like
Yeah, it's
more?
an actual book. It
Oh,
is
okay.
actual literature by Grady Hendrix, Witchcraft for Wayward Girls. And I saw it described as, shit. Let's see. Brand new horror novel from the New York Times bestselling author of How to Sell a Haunted House and The Final Girl Support Group. Uh, I
What a title.
I'm loving the titles of these things. I wish I could find the article where I saw the description. It was described as something but set in Florida, and I was just like, that sounds pretty cool. I live in Florida. I like this thing. So I'm gonna look into that. I might actually pick it up and read it, just because, and possibly some of the other books, because yeah, no. Solid titles, solid titles. The Final Girl Support Group is probably one of the best titles I've ever heard. But that's coming up. I might sit down and have a look at that and give it a read, and we'll see, and we might talk about that later. But other than that, I don't really have anything else on my radar. I don't know about you.
I mean, yeah, that's about it
My radar is very
so
sad and
far.
limited right now. It's been a rough week. It's been a rough 2 weeks, gang.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah. I think we've both almost committed things that we will not say on recording because the lawyers tell us not to. Just gonna suck on that voltage real quick. Delicious. All right, but yeah, we can go ahead and I guess we can jump into the movie, eh?
To the topic at hand.
Yeah. All right. The title of today's screencast being 1968's Night of the Living Dead, directed by George A. Romero, written by Romero and John Russo, and produced by Russell Streiner and Carl Hardman. The film, I can speak English today. Interestingly enough, doesn't have composer credits due to much of the soundtrack consisting of music that appeared in other productions, chosen by Romero from the High Q Music Library, and then cut and augmented with electric effects to fit the scenes by Hardman. I had a fun fact there. The composition for the end credits was used in a nuclear fallout public service video in 1959. And I sat and watched all 17 minutes of that, by the way, because I was first intrigued. I just wanted to hear the song. And I really got sucked into how to tell if there was nuclear fallout in my vicinity without the use of a Geiger counter. Apparently, it involves putting a dish outside your door for a few hours.
I mean, they had some of the weirdest things when it comes to nuclear holocaust. Like, if you see a nuclear bomb fall down, I know we're getting into like fallout things here, but like you see a nuclear bomb, you hold up your thumb, and if it's bigger than your thumb, that means you need to run. I'm like, I don't think you have time for
Which,
that.
yeah, right. Which that's actually a myth anyway, because even if your thumb
Is
covers,
it?
yeah, even if your thumb covers it up, you can still get hit with the effects of nuclear fallout. You might not get blasted. You might get blasted.
Well, no. Wasn't it like if your thumb was bigger than the blast, like you won't immediately die from it?
Yeah, you're clear of the blast
Or
radius.
something like that. Like you're clear of the blast radius. They're not saying you can't get radiation. They're just saying you're not gonna die in the next 5 minutes from it.
I mean, to be fair, yeah, that's probably right, because you got to be pretty effing far away for your thumb to cover up a mushroom cloud.
Exactly.
I don't know. I've never seen a nuclear blast. I watched the videos from the testing out in friggin' the New Mexican deserts. But beyond that, I don't really know shit about shit when it comes to nukes.
Exactly.
I know I still live in a small bit of existential panic when I think about how easy it is to lose a nuke and how many we have lost over the many years we've had them.
I think that's a story for another day.
Just a lot of existential terror of the great unknown. I think Lovecraft would be proud, and that's probably not a good thing. Let's correct course here. But yeah, I sat down. It's like a 17-minute video for that, and that was fun. I learned things. Anyway, back on course. The film stars Judith, yeah, still having a problem talking. Judith O'Dea, Dwayne Jones, Marilyn Eastman, Carl Hardman, Judith Ridley, Keith Wayne, and Russell W. Schreiner. A lot of the cast also being a lot of the production crew. But yes, playing as a group of farmhouse-bound survivors just trying to survive the ghoulish hordes growing on their doorsteps. Fun stuff.
And then kind of going back to the cast, Dwayne Jones, who plays Ben, the basically one of the stars of the movie. He was one of the first African American actors to kind of play a lead role because, again, this is what, 1968 we said.
Mm-hmm.
There was some stuff going on around there, nobody knows.
There's lots of
But
fun there.
he was one of the first African Americans to not only play a lead role, but kind of play almost like a heroic lead role, which was kind of frowned upon back then for, how you, yeah, just dumb reasons. But it was, he was one of the first to do that. It was very, like, groundbreaking. Like, people were, I probably very mixed on their reaction on him being a lead role and all of that.
Why is this colored man the hero? This doesn't make sense.
How
Diane!
dare they?
Diane! What is this? Diane, bring me my
This movie
hood!
is obviously no good if that's how they cast this movie.
I mean, to be fair, has it really changed so much?
It needs to, though.
Yeah, it really does. Look, I'm not trying to get political. I may have been a little commie in the beginning, I may have talked a little about the capitalist train and whew, it's not that kind of whew, you know what? Fuck it. A cab. Getting sidetracked. I'm bad at this. I'm bad at sidetracking. I think that's all I had to say. It hasn't much changed. It's still bullshit. But I thought you were gonna call him like the hero there, and I was gonna say, don't you fucking dare. There are no heroes in this movie.
Well, he did play, like, kind of a lead. I don't want to say hero, but like kind of like a lead, like alpha kind of role, which is very unheard of for to have a African American play a role like that.
I
I
mean,
know nobody can see me doing quotes or anything like that, but it was not the norm. Let's just
he
put it
had
that way.
he had big pro tag energy. Uh, he made it all the way till the end before everything goes tits up. He had big pro tag energy. But I will not call anybody in this movie a hero. They're either dumb yokels or they're just awful human beings. Granted, stressful situation. Undead. Anyway, going back, the film didn't star any big name actors. As I said, everybody, a lot of the actors were members of production. And it consisted of the members of Image 10, the production company, some commercial actors, acquaintances of Romero, and some Pittsburgh stage actors, because it was filmed in Pennsylvania there in Pittsburgh. Image 10 being a production company that is actually the merger of Romero's Leighton Image along with Hardman Associates, owned by Carl Hardman. Fun fact, also there, Romero, Russo, and Striner decided to make the film to capitalize on the interest of horror as a genre at the time. But previously, their studio cut their teeth on a mix of commercials, industrial films, and my personal favorite, segments from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, which I found that to be kind of fun and quirky to turn around and merge and start pumping out Living Dead films, all the films. I don't know if the production company stayed the same throughout all of the Living Dead films. Actually, that is something I'll have to look into.
he did create a lot of zombie films after this was as successful as it was.
Right. Like, so I don't know if it's the same. I don't know if the Latent Image remained his production company through that time, but that'll be something we'll look into and learn.
And
Uh,
due to
but yes,
the
with a
low
budget
budget of this
of swinging
movie,
between
it was shot in
114K
black
and
and white because
125K
obviously it's
US,
cheaper to shoot
the film
movies in
brought in
black
an
and white
estimated
than in
thirty
color.
million two hundred thirty-six
So
thousand four
the
hundred fifty-two
funny thing
dollars
about that is
globally,
the
split between
blood
releases
that
prior to
was
2013
the
as
blood throughout the
well
whole
as
movie was
2017 and
actually
2018 postings,
red ink and
and
chocolate
was
syrup.
awarded with 2 distinguished
And
honors
since it's
decades
black and
after its
white, it
debut.
didn't matter what color the
One of
blood
which the Library
was
of Congress
because
added the
they
film to
can't
the
tell
National
anyway.
Film
So,
Registry, right up there
get
with
creative with it.
Halloween.
Within also with this movie being released in 1968, a lot of people thought this movie was way too violent and gory for, the time it was coming out. And actually this, which I brought this question up to you, I know, like before, we even watched the movie, because there were obviously zombie movies before this movie came out, but this movie, in my opinion, is kind of like, I always thought of it as kind of like the grandfather of all zombie movies,
Mhm.
because it made, like, I don't want to say rules, but it kind of did form traditional zombie movies going forward after this movie came out. And another fun fact is they actually never used the word zombie throughout the whole movie. They always referred to them as ghouls and not zombies. But with this movie, like, they, like I said, quote unquote, made the rules for future zombie movies. Like, the naked zombie. There's always a naked zombie in zombie movies. And this was actually the first movie to have that. This movie also, like, kind of showed zombies, like, the, well, in their case, the ghouls actually, like, hunger for flesh, like actually trying to, like, eat people. Like, that was unheard of before this movie came out. And just like little things like that. Zombies always being like slow moving, and it's not necessarily one zombie that's gonna get you. It's always the horde in the end when you're trying to like build up a shelter, and like it's always the horde that eventually catches up to you, not just the one or two zombies that are around. So just, kind of things like that. So I was just curious of what, like, you thought of that, like this movie kind of being like the grandfather of like traditional zombie movies going forward.
Oh yeah, no, 100% agree with that. I mean, I think this did it come out first? The Serpent and the Rainbow, some kind of zombie. I forget which zombie films came out first, but they were more
Um,
of like the.
I I believe, sorry to cut you
No, no,
off. I
no, no. Go
believe
ahead.
there's a film called White Zombie that came out before
White Zombie.
this. That
That was
was,
it.
yeah, that's the only one I can think of. I think there's one other that had like zombie like creatures in the movie, but like I said, this kind of more made the traditional zombie
What we have
blade.
come to know
Yeah,
in our traditional
exactly.
media zombie. Um, yeah, because there were a few that came out prior to, but they were
Hmm.
definitely more in the vein of the traditional like voodoo zombie.
Hmm.
So yeah, I would definitely say as far as like the modern cinematic zombie and what we see in other media, graphic novels and all that good stuff, nods to um, The Walking Dead and whatnot. We definitely got this establishment of the shambler, uh, the constantly hungering, single-minded machine. Um,
Hmm.
but what I noticed in this film was the intelligence that remained in the zombies. I brought that up during the film, that there was like an intelligence that
Yeah.
still remained, and we do see that in further Romero films as well. I think it's Bob, the zombie, who is the gas station attendant in what, Land of the Dead or City of the Dead, one of the two. Uh,
It has been forever since I've seen that movie, so I honestly could not tell you
but he
off the
but
top
he
of my
shows
head.
but he shows the, he still has the intelligence, and they comment on it in the film. Um,
Hmm.
that it's like they're trying to do the shit that they were doing before they died. So yeah, like Bob the Zombie, who's like a gas station attendant and shit. And all that good stuff. And you kind of see that in you mentioned as well when we were talking about it previously, like Shaun of the Dead, where by the end they've got him pushing carts and Ed
pushing cart, basically, yeah, doing like manual labor
Ed's
type
chained up in
things.
the shed playing
And
video games. Like,
I hate to bring this movie up just because I don't know how you feel about it, but I know I watched it. I was not a fan. It was awful. Warm Bodies, where I don't know if you've ever seen it or not, but like where a girl falls in love with a zombie
mm,
and he slowly starts to like
mm.
all of a sudden have a heartbeat and all this other dumb shit and start having thoughts, and that movie was awful.
No, no, I
And
didn't.
if
I rejected that film wholly.
And if anybody thinks it's a good movie, you can at me all you want. I will disagree because that movie was awful.
Fucking at us so we can tell you how badly your opinions suck. Like, we understand. You
You
feel the same. It's
Everybody
okay.
has a right to their wrong opinion. Let's just put it that way.
Even us, if that's what you think, but we know we're right. Um, this is our show, damn it.
Yeah, when you have your names on the title of your show, you can say whatever the fuck you
When
want
you're
about
on this
warm bodies, and
microphone,
on this show, it's awful.
if you give me a good enough reason, maybe I'll let you on the show. Maybe I'll let you come. Tell your disgusting, horrible, wrong opinion on the mic. I'm so sorry. I did not mean to attack you so viciously. It's just, I get so angry. I get so angry. Uh, man, talk about sidetrack. We're on one movie and we went through like 4 movies. Where were we? What were we doing?
Oh, we're just talking
Zombie
about
tradition. There we go.
yeah.
But no, yeah, no, 100% totally agree. This is the basis and benchmark for our modern media zombie.
Yeah.
Until we got to things like 28. Shit, we're jumping into more movies. 28 Days Later, 20.
I mean, but it does, like, all of these movies fall into like they got like the original idea. I would say, again, I don't want to use the word rules because that just sounds like you have to do it this way, but for the most part this movie laid the groundwork for what what you have in zombie movies today. Like I said, the naked zombie always is in literally every zombie movie because of this.
Mhm.
Zombies, like, basically having a one-track mind of I need to feed, I need to feed, I need to feed, and feeding on people. And
Pardon me.
I know this movie didn't exactly start the whole like, oh, if you get bit by a zombie you become one, but it did start the whole, like, Walking Dead, for example. Once you die, you become a zombie because
Right.
of radiation or some kind of disease or anything like that. So like this movie literally laid the groundwork for future zombie movies that came after.
Right. They did this concept where there's no happy ending. There's no human race saves the day because at this
Yeah,
point everybody is somehow infected. So when you die, it's just going to start the whole thing over again. Uh,
exactly.
it's really dismal. That's really dismal. Like,
But we love it.
right, the fact that it started here and then you see
Because
it carry on in The Walking Dead, and it's like, oh yeah, humanity's fucked. Like, pure simple. There's no stopping
I
anything
mean,
ever.
I know we've had conversation about this like in the past and all that. You put zombies in a movie like Warm Bodies. It had zombies. I watched it.
You
It
fucking
was
idiot.
awful, but I watched it because it had zombies. You put zombies in a movie, I'm fucking watching it. Like, I love zombie movies. I don't care how bad it is, how good it is. I am watching a zombie movie.
What was that Schwarzenegger one where his kid, is it his kid or whatever?
I don't remember a
Oh,
Schwarzenegger
he's
movie.
trying to get her. Was it was Emily, or I don't know, it's something, but he's trying to get her somewhere. I think that was a zombie movie. Uh,
I don't remember the Schwarzenegger zombie movie, but I'm intrigued now.
I'll have to look. I'll have to look into it later because I think it's a zombie movie, but I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, no, definitely laid the groundwork. It's definitely where it all started and where it all carries on to. I'm gonna go ahead and spoil something that
Uh-oh.
isn't. It's not movie related, but I'm going to spoil a season 2 pick because I
Okay.
already have one firmly in my mind that is going on the list. And it's when we chose Night of the Living Dead. I was kind of in a toss-up with myself because I think we had both chosen Night of the Living Dead initially, and then I
Yes,
gave it up.
because you had it, and I'm like, damn, I was gonna pick that one.
Right. And from there, like, my brain was switching, and I almost put Return of the Living Dead on the list, but I figured since we already had one like horror comedy.
Oh, believe me, like, I don't know. I might do a double feature for a future season and do both Dawn of the Dead. All right, so like the original and the remake, because the remake is fucking amazing.
They're both really good. Like, Dawn of the Dead is that's my favorite of the Deads.
I think I've only seen the original once. I've seen the remake hundreds of times because I love the remake.
The original is so good, and it's so fucking sad. I love it, and that's a big anti-cap one. That's all about consumerism.
And I'm gonna apologize now, but like when it comes to season 2, I'm probably gonna have lots of zombie movies because now just going off of my head, I'm like, ooh, that's a good one too. Ooh, that's a good one.
Like,
too.
shit,
Ooh.
all I want to do is watch zombie movies now. Fuck. What is my life?
We opened the door. We opened the door.
Kick that fucker in. Shit, yeah, man. Now we're gonna be watching nothing but zombie features. But yes, Return of the Living Dead is gonna go on season 2. That'll probably be my first pick for season 2, just because.
Yeah, believe me, I already have one in my head that I'm picking for the second season as well.
Do you want to share it, or
have you seen the remake of The Crazies?
No, I've seen the original.
It is so good. The remake is so good.
Okay, well,
the
I'm
original is good too,
then.
but I I prefer the remake. The remake was really really good, and it has an actor in there that I really really like.
Oh man,
I just can't think of his name right now.
What? More stuff to research, more stuff to look into. But yeah, no, that's exciting. All right, well, there you have it. 2 films.
Sneak
peeks for next season. Completely derailed again.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna kill it here by saying, fun fact: you can go watch Night of the Living Dead on YouTube for free, or you can go watch it. Well, you could watch it on the wiki. I tried to watch it on the wiki for this session just to be like, ha ha ha, I watched the movie on Wikipedia, da da da.
I was gonna say it didn't work, right?
And it didn't work. That was really upsetting to discover. But you can watch it on YouTube for free. You can watch it anywhere for free, really, because it was released into the public domain when the original distributor failed to replace the copyright notice when changing the film's name. So that's a fun fact. That's a fun little screw up that may be the best thing that ever happened to it. I don't know. I didn't get a quote for how Romero felt.
It's made quite a bit of money though. So
Oh
I think
yeah, even being free, made tons of fucking money. But yeah, I think we bullshitted. We talked about the movie and then we went on tangents. I think we've gone on that enough. We can probably go ahead and you wanna hit the trailer here. You got that ready?
Yeah.
Kick ass.
Yep, up and ready.
I don't have it ready. I mean, I do have it ready, but it's on. Bro, I've got 4 fucking browsers open. I've got like 7 tabs. My life is misery. There it is. All right, we can go ahead and start whenever you are ready, sir. Give me a go ahead.
Go ahead.
Bet.
Welcome to a night of total terror.
Powerful beginning.
I mean, well, we'll see if this one gives the whole movie away like the previous 2.
Who live on living flesh. The dead whose
There's our naked zombie.
hunt
There's the naked zombie.
The living whose bodies
They
are
got away with showing the flesh eating in the trailer. That's pretty impressive.
godly
I mean, dude, they didn't have ratings back then. We went over this. Kids were able to watch this movie in the theater.
Oh yeah, I didn't mention that, eh?
night
I mean,
of the
I
living
can see how that would freak people out back in the 60s, though.
Yeah, no, solid practical effects.
An experience in shock, more shattering than your strangest nightmare. Night of the living dead.
I mean, they definitely make sure you know the title of the movie, though.
That's my favorite part of the trailer. How many times they just stress Night of the Living Dead.
Night of total terror.
And, you know, when we get to that scene,
Night
definitely gonna have some things to say about that.
of the living dead.
I don't want to talk badly about how badly he fucked that up, but gasoline, open flames, dummy dumb moves. It's a very it doesn't give a lot, this trailer. It gives a lot of action. But I mean
It was definitely going for the shock factor.
yeah, definitely. Like I said, they I don't know where it aired. I don't know if it was a theatrical trailer. Maybe not. It might have been a like televised ad. Not sure where that aired, however, but they went for it. They showed the flesh eating. You had a naked zombie butt all up on the screen. Good trailer though. I mean, it's all action.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All action
Like I
sequences.
said, it's the first time I've ever seen the trailer.
It's a lot of first trailer viewings, isn't it?
Well, especially with the older movies, just because
We weren't alive then.
around when the movies were coming out, so it's not like we were, you know, watching trailers for movies that have been released like, you know,
You never
10, 15, 20 years before we were even born.
Yeah, you never just been baked out of your head and just scroll
Looked up
classic
old movie
movie
trailers?
trailers?
No.
No, I haven't actually. Is that a thing people do? Huh. Probably not, but good trailer. They really drive it in. When I had initially watched the trailer to try to find the right one, and I landed on it, I probably cackled my head off through most of it just from the Night of the Living Dead repetition.
Oh, they got
It was
people's
fun.
attention back then,
Oh
apparently.
yeah, attention getter. I may have been influenced by things, but it was really good. We liked it. But yeah, all action doesn't give much away. I mean, you couldn't pinpoint where anything goes in that mess. It's a lot, a lot of bodies everywhere. Yeah, good stuff. Good trailer. We like it. I'm gonna go ahead and switch screens here because now I need a new screen. Do I have that one separated? Yes, perfect. And we pick up in the film where we have siblings, Johnny and Barbara, traveling to the cemetery to visit their father's grave. It's a really slow, it gets into it pretty quickly, but it's it's a very strange, awkward dynamic they have. Like, they're in their what, 20s, 30s?
I would probably say if late 20s, early 30s, something like that.
Johnny's a cock nozzle. he acts like a teenager.
Maybe he's the younger brother.
Maybe, but yes.
I would say if I had to guess, he would be the younger sibling. Yes.
Look, if I'm going to visit my parents' grave, and my sibling is being a cock nozzle, well, I'm trying to have a sincere moment with my dead father or whatever. Fuck that guy. Johnny gets what's coming to him.
But he does come up with the iconic line of the whole movie
Yes.
that If you know anything about this movie, you know the line I'm talking about.
I definitely
They're
said it.
coming to get you, Barbara.
Yep, definitely said it on the last recording. It's iconic. You can't.
It is.
Uh, but yes, as he's teasing her, a pale-faced man is spotted across the way, coming through the cemetery. This will be our first ghoul, who is on the approach. Comes up on Barbara, gives her a grab. Barbara freaks. Johnny stops being a dick for a moment and pulls the man.
Johnny's like, oh.
It's like, oh, it's serious,
shit, it's serious.
right?
They really are coming to get you.
Oh no, it's not a game now. Fuck. So yes, he steps up and takes on the brotherly role, pulls the man off of his sister, begins a little tussle, where very suddenly and unfortunately there is a trip and tumble that happens, and Johnny bashes his head on a tomb or on a grave marker. I'm not going to call it a tombstone because it was one of those flatter ones, so it's just a grave marker. And he's fucking dead.
I mean, you don't know at the time, but you assume.
Well, I have never taken blunt force. Hang on. Okay, I've taken blunt force trauma from asphalt, but never from a marble grave marker. And the edge of it, no less. It looked like it hurt. Yeah, so Johnny's down. Barbara makes a run. Cause yeah, Mans is not down. Johnny's down, Mans is not down. Runs to the car, gets to the vehicle, can't start it because Johnny has the keys.
By the way, because I know you're getting to it, but releases the park brake on there, and this is where we realize, because it is in my notes, why Johnny was driving at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah. When you
she gets what, 20 feet and literally puts it into a tree, like
immediately rolls it into a tree.
It's not like the man is running after you. He is literally walking as you're in a car rolling down a fucking hill, and you put it into a tree to where you can't move the car anymore.
Just my notes for this particular little scene setup here. Daylight savings is bullshit. And I mention that because I think Johnny mentions it, because he's against it too. And that makes me feel a little bad that I'm on Johnny's side on this note, but fuck daylight savings. It's a scam. The farmers have electricity now. 2, kills the radio that could have saved their fucking lives. This was a question.
But they were getting out to visit the gravestone.
I mean, yeah, but convenient timing. You kill the radio that's giving you the report. It could have saved your friggin' life. Maybe couldn't have because you were already there. This brings it to another thing that I want to know. They were driving over the course of not the whole day, because they got there and it's going to take them like a handful of hours to get home, Johnny says.
I think he said 2 or 3 hours, something like that.
So how long has the zombie outbreak been happening? Because we kind of chatted on that for a moment.
I think it was it looked like it was the beginning stage. Well, I mean, I know, again, low budget in the movie, they can't exactly make the zombies look like they've been walking around for a while
for
and,
weeks.
Decomposing and stuff like that. But if you're going just based off on how the zombies look, or I'm sorry, ghouls, how they look and all that, they are fresh ghouls, like recently deceased or, something like that, and not as like rotted or, starting to like,
They're
looking
not
like,
decaying.
Traditional zombie. Yeah, exactly. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you.
Yep.
So I would imagine it's like pretty, because I know later in the movie when they bring up like the TV and all that stuff of like the the news bulletin and all that, they were talking about like a recent it was a satellite, wasn't it, that crashed in Earth,
returning from one of
Yeah.
Jupiter's moons or something like that.
Yeah, that they were saying was giving off radiation that possibly turned the dead into ghouls and all that.
Right. It was, my thing with it is, if it's on the radio, like they're announcing updates for it on the radio, because that was an update. That wasn't just a like, oh, by the way, this is the thing that's happening. This was like, hey, this is a developing story. But like, there are a lot of fucking I don't know how many hours passed between her getting.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think the radio is more talking about like not necessarily like the dead coming back to life, but incidences of people being attacked by
Yeah,
other
yeah. I
people.
think like
So that sounds like beginning stages of an outbreak
it's just
more than like, oh, it's been happening for a week,
yeah, no,
you
no,
know?
no. Like I wouldn't imagine it was happening that long, but I mean, it feels like just at the pace that it moves, that perhaps it was happening a
Well,
little. It was things were going wrong before they left the house that day. You know.
I'm just saying, like, any of my Walking Dead fans out there, either book, show, or both, when zombie apocalypse starts happening, they tell you, oh, go to the cities, go to the cities. That's the last fucking place you want to be because that's how you die and become a zombie.
I
So I'm sure when stuff like that happens, nobody knows what's going on, and then they're being attacked and then dying and then becoming zombies, and then once everybody's like, oh shit, this is what's happening. Okay, flee to your cities because that's where, you're going to find the help. And then that's where everybody
I
dies.
did just think
And then that's where you get the rapid, takeover
right.
of zombies.
I just got in my head because I you being on like how long does it take, how fast does it happen. I was just thinking suddenly the opening scenes to the remake of Dawn of the Dead popped into my head where she gets home, she does her shower and shit,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
and then
yeah.
like
Oh my God, it's so
all of a
good.
sudden everything is in fucking chaos over like maybe like a
Yeah,
6 hour period. Boom, whole neighborhood's
matter
gone to
of
hell,
literally hours
everything's fucked.
because exactly. Just because the sheer shock of it and nobody knows how to react to it. And then that's when, because look how many people there are in the world,
Yeah, yeah.
it's gonna take over pretty
It
quickly.
gets out and it starts disseminating, and it's everywhere very very quickly. This, you know what? Everything's making sense in the zombie timelines in my head now. Never mind, strike it from the record.
Consider it stricken.
All right, perfect. Um, Johnny Has It Coming was another note. As I said, Johnny Has It Coming. He deserved that blunt force to the fucking dome. He's an asshole. Tripping White Woman. Is this where the tripping white woman started?
You know what? You brought that up while we are watching it too, and not that I'm a movie savant or anything like that, but I can't think of I can't think of an older movie where like that traditional because that happens in like more slasher films than anything else,
Right.
but it may have started there.
Look, I will say we're not experts. We're two dummies with microphones, and we're just doing fun things. But
Yeah, press record.
right,
Yeah, we just have microphones and press record.
right, like it's your fault that modern age has made it so easy for us to put it on the internet. I believe. Okay, so that tripping white woman is where my notes for this scene end. Um, but yeah,
Yeah,
I
because
feel like
that's
this
when
might
she
be
gets.
where the word's escaping me now. Shit, trope. There we go. Has came from? Because I don't know. That feels like the first place, the earliest place I've seen it, and it
Mhm.
was a definitive,
Same.
quintessential tripping white woman. Uh, run, 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 fall over nothing. Um, yeah, I feel like this might be the origin. I feel like I stumbled onto some great secret. But okay, moving forward. Yeah, she takes the car out of gear, runs it into the tree, all 20 seconds down the road. Fortunately, the farmhouse is nearby where she runs it into the tree. So you're really close to the cemetery too, I guess, which maybe isn't a good thing, but nobody's climbing out of the ground in this. It's
That we know of.
well, I mean, even I'm trying to think. Was
That was just a joke.
yeah? No, I was thinking on it. I'm like, well, I mean, eventually, no, they never do come out of the ground in the Living
No.
Dead films. It is strictly humans who have been killed by infected humans.
Yeah.
Well, everybody's infected, but humans who have been killed after infection. So yeah, there's nobody dragging themselves out of the dirt. In the return films, they definitely do, but That is a separate franchise altogether. Uh, she makes it to the farmhouse. Seems abandoned. Um, Find my place here. Uh,
That's where she goes inside, starts like, trying to check through the house, goes upstairs, and then that's where we find our, a victim, the
yes,
house
the body on
owner
the stairs.
upstairs,
Actually,
which I'm not gonna lie, like that was a pretty gruesome little scene there too.
yeah. Again, the effects for the film, for being so cheap and on, but they did really good, really good. Like
I mean, for a low budget, yeah.
grotesque, like solid grotesque with their effects. Uh, and I think that also makes it so iconic because what just it's a real brutal film. I mean, if you're just sitting there and taking it at face value, it's a very brutal film. Yeah, she makes a search of the house. She finds the corpse on the stairs. Uh, and as of the current, she is by herself. Well, quote unquote. We don't know
Yeah.
about the people in the cellar yet.
But yeah, then once she sees the body, that's when she tries to leave out the front door. Then where she meets Ben, trying to get into the house.
Because her little zombie or her little zombie pal and a few other little zombie pals have been in pursuit. Ben is the one who no, Ben doesn't have the truck.
No, no, did he? No, he did. Yeah, he had the
Ben,
truck, but he ran out of gas.
yes, okay, yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah, he had the truck, but he ran out of gas, and that's why he was trying to make shelter in the house.
Yes. I forgot he had the truck, but then I remembered that he
Yeah,
had the truck when
that was in the truck.
when he saw all the
Mhm.
shit happen. Um, so yeah, Ben shows up, uh, gets inside, attacks the figures with the tire iron that he's carrying. Uh, Barbara, who is deeply traumatized, and I think this is about the time I wrote Barbara is traumatized AF in my notes.
Yeah, because one thing that because you kind of see it happening throughout the movie, like she just goes in, like you said, complete shock basically, and she's almost acting like she is a zombie throughout the movie.
Yeah.
Like not really talking, not really moving, not really like just completely disassociates from everybody else. Like when other characters start coming into the scene and all that, just completely disassociates, and people even trying to talk to her, and she just is in a
Blank
completely
faced.
different conversation in a completely different conversation than what they're having. And yeah, it is,
Johnny has the
it's
keys.
because it's just funny. It is kind of funny, just like when the other characters start coming in, you see the kind of the type of people you would kind of expect to see in this situation. Like Ben becomes like the man of action kind of thing, like the man with the plan kind of thing, like board it up, and we'll be safe here, we'll just board everything up and all that. Barbara is in complete shock and
No,
is very
I was gonna
unhelpful.
say
And
almost
then
useless.
yeah, pretty much, yeah. And then, well, when we get to the other characters, how you know we'll get to that when we get to
Right,
that. But
right.
yeah,
Yeah, she slowly starts slipping into like a deeper and deeper kind of like almost catatonic state.
yeah,
Just complete. She's shattering, completely fracturing and
yeah.
disassociating. um, but yeah, they start getting things going and trade their stories. Ben talks about where he was and where he came from. This is where we get. I think this gives us the flashback, right, to him at the diner.
It
I,
didn't flashback. He
he
just
just
told
talks
her
about it.
what was going on, like when he was at the diner and he saw somebody attacking another person, and then that's when he got the and then he saw like a few of them like flip or no,
Nah, yeah,
getting that mixed
that's
up.
with the car.
That's when he got into the truck and then just kind of drove off until it ran out of gas.
It's a very vivid talk because I can see it in my head.
But the funny thing is, because I think you mentioned it when we were watching it, as Ben is telling like his story, Barbara just is in a completely different world. And then when he gets done, he asks her how she ended up there, and she starts, just again, just completely monotone, like state of shock, telling how she got there, and Ben just seems completely uninterested, even though he asked her, "So how did you get here?" And he's just like, "Okay, okay, stop
Yeah,
flipping out,
there's
stop freaking out, stop freaking out. You're freaking out some more, even though I asked you to tell this story. You're still freaking out."
there is so much disconnect between these two characters
Yes,
the
very
whole
much.
time.
Yes,
Like every interaction with them, there's a huge disconnect between them. Then neither of them has any interest in hearing what the other is saying because one is traumatized
exactly.
out of her fucking head and the other is Ben. Um, Ben, I don't care. He's not a hero. He was a man who was there, right place, right time, and he does turn into that very big pro tag alpha energy,
Well,
which
your first thing of Ben not being a hero, because as Barbara's telling how she, how she got to the house and everything, she's just starts just freaking out and, basically having like a complete panic attack and all this other stuff. And then Ben grabs her and, tries to calm her down, and since she won't calm down, he
oh
literally just
lord,
punches her in the face.
oh
And I
lord,
do like how in this little synopsis that you pulled up,
uh-huh.
Barbara passes out in shock.
No,
No,
yeah,
she
no,
got
she got.
knocked the fuck out.
This is a solid
Let's be real
damn
here.
moment. Like,
Let's be real here.
yeah, like I think it was like, oh yeah, he slapped her, and I was just like, no, that was knuckles. That was a balled up fist right to the jaw. Like she got knocked the fuck out. Uh, whew, Ben is not a hero, but
Just going over that scene and just hear Smokey from Friday. You just got knocked the fuck out.
right? It was just wow, that was an intense moment. And then he lays her down. Just like
I
he
mean, at
didn't.
least he put her on the couch, though. He didn't put her on the floor or anything. At least she was comfortable
Yeah,
as she was knocked
yeah. It's
out.
a good thing he held her up after he fucking sucker punched her and moved her to the. Good thing he didn't let her body just hit the floor. What a gentleman! What a fucking diamond in the rough gentleman.
We are few and far between, okay? Us gentlemen.
Us sucker punching gentlemen. Or we do not endorse that. Oh shit. Okay. Afterward, we got a fun little thing after the episode. I'm gonna suck on some hot sauce, but so yes, he lays her on the couch. He finds a rifle and a radio. Now Ben is the big man, and because he's got the gun. While listening to the radio, they get the whole tale. The emergency broadcaster is talking about the widespread violence and mayhem being committed. Ben goes ahead and he continues boarding up, making sure that everything is secure. Now that he has made Barbara completely useless, she can no longer hold nails for the poor man. He also starts making his little, I almost said club, but it's not a club. He makes a torch.
Yeah, definitely makes a torch.
But he also, he gets the gun, he gets the cartridges, he gets everything boarded up, and then the cellar door bursts open as two men come out, and we are introduced to what is it, Billy? I believe it's Billy, and Mr. Cooper.
I believe so.
And
oh no,
I will excuse me.
I will interject here because I know how you feel about Ben. I'm sorry, but he is way more of a hero than fucking dickhead Mr. Cooper, okay? Who this is where I have in my notes where these two meet and it's just one big dick swinging contest of who
absolutely.
can out alpha the other. And believe me, Mr. Cooper, he was never gonna out alpha Ben any day of the week.
I mean, no. No. Mr. Cooper looks like he's about to have a fucking heart attack from too much cholesterol, and maybe a vein is gonna burst in his head. I don't know, but he ain't about that life. He ain't for those streets, and maybe he should just
He wants to be the
down.
man. he wants to be the man in charge and the man with the plan, but you just know as soon as he's in charge and has to come up with a plan, he has nothing.
Yeah, no, that's why they were locked in a cellar. Probably not well equipped because they didn't search this house. Apparently, they just hid in the fucking cellar.
I mean, yeah, I was gonna say, because because Ben and Barbara didn't even know there was a cellar because the way the cellar door is, it literally looks like part of the wall.
Right, it's very
and then it just
inset.
pops open. Yeah.
Yeah, but they didn't search the house at all because they didn't know there was a radio. They didn't know, they didn't find any of this shit. They just went and they tucked down in a fucking basement.
Yeah, but they find, you said his name Tom.
Yeah, Tom.
And was it Judith or no? I guess it was like his girlfriend.
Oh yeah, Judy.
Judy,
Yeah.
that's what it was. And then Mr. Cooper, his wife, and coming to find out, very sick daughter.
Yeah.
Wonder what's gonna happen there.
Little fun facts. We're introduced to Cooper here, who is played by Carl Hardman, who is the producer, one of the producers of the film, and also the woman who plays his wife was his vice president of his production company, and also who he was apparently having some relations with as well in the real world on his own time. And the little girl is his actual daughter.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And she also plays the body on the stairs when Ben goes up and is pulling it away. She plays the body. Fun fact.
All sorts of fun facts.
Yeah. So it's a lot of a production crew and family who are just the main cast.
And so basically, after Mr. Cooper and his whole gang comes up from the cellar, this is kind of where they meet each other. Have the whole like, oh, I'm this person, and so on and so forth. And basically, Ben and Mr. Cooper throughout the rest of the movie just bicker. I mean, like an old married couple. If that's probably the best way to describe these two, about whose plan is better. So Mr. Cooper is like, oh, we should stay in the cellar. They'll never see us or hear us or anything down there. And Ben's just like, yeah, that's a death trap.
There's no...
Stay up here. We could see what's going on. And if anybody comes for help, to actually help out, we can see them and signal them. Which,
right,
not gonna lie, is kind of the better of the two.
Yeah.
But I digress.
Yeah. I'm with Ben on this because being down in the cellar, like, that should definitely be the fallback. I'm not going to say I'm an expert at zombie survival or anything, but I mean, I spent a lot of my formative years preparing for an inevitable zombie outbreak that probably isn't going to happen. But I have a lot of theory that I'm ready to put into practice. But yeah. The whole argument going into the cellar, eventually kind of wins over Tom with it because Tom doesn't want to be in the cellar. He thinks Ben has a good point.
Yeah, that's where Mr. Cooper goes back down with his family and says, basically, to hell with you guys. We're staying in the cellar. Then that's where his wife finds out, see, there's a TV up there with updates. Maybe we should be up there so we're informed of what's going on. And then that's how all of them stay up there, except for the very sick daughter.
Well, not all, because they keep swapping out, like,
yeah, that's true.
The duties on the daughter.
And, Judy and the wife. I can't remember the wife's name for the life of me, but was it Karen? I believe it was Karen. Anyways, they swapped to stay with the daughter so she's not alone.
Yeah. And I will say, Miss East, was it Eastville? The woman who plays Karen. She's very pretty. She was a very pretty actress. I mean, I guess not actress. One-time actress. I don't know if she went to do anything else, but she was a great...
She was in a movie.
What's that?
She was in a movie. She's an actress.
That's fair. Great VP of a company. Yeah, she's a very pretty woman. But I love her facial expressions in the way that she talks to... I almost called him Carl again. The way she talks to Cooper. Because you can tell she wears the pants in this relationship.
Oh yeah.
She doesn't,
He likes to pretend he does in front of other people, but we know.
right? Like he's the big
know.
man, but she hits the fucking side eye and like gets that tone. You definitely tell she wears the pants, and I'm here for it. Uh, so just some notes to wrap up passing scenes because I've neglected it. We had choco syrup, which I think was when it was on the stairs when Ben was passing by, and it just kind of showed it. I'm like,
Probably.
choco syrup, let's go. I would have loved to have been on the set for this as well, because a lot of people would have been getting some maybe unwanted licking. But it was the 60s. I think it was okay then. I said the music box is a jam, and I forget where the music box came in. I think this was all before Ben showed up. When she was still wandering around the house. Because Ben does eventually show up, and I had to ask if zombies feel fear, because when he's like shaking, oh no, this was after Ben, wasn't it? When Ben was shaking the torch at them, and they were recoiling, like and I think, did somebody say something about them being afraid? I think eventually it comes up. But like, do zombies feel fear? I didn't think zombies would necessarily recoil from anything. Zombies are,
I mean, because not necessarily in this movie, but like in other movies, TV shows, something like that. They basically their brains are just on. I don't want to say survival mode, but basically just the basic of basics. So maybe it's just like not so much the fire that they're afraid of, but like maybe just feeling the heat
maybe
makes them kind of like, because nobody ever really explains why zombies don't like fire.
Zombies
Because
feel.
it's not just this movie where like fire kind of repels, zombies.
Right.
So like I don't think anybody's ever really explained that.
I
But it's just always been kind of like a thing.
I think when it came to the fire and the zombies feeling fear, that was also when I asked if Frankenstein's monster was the first zombie horde.
I mean,
Also afraid of fire. Also a reanimated corpse.
But he did. But Frankenstein's monster did have more intelligence than your average zombie.
Yeah, I guess he did have kind of semi-working emotions. Maybe zombies do feel.
Warm bodies, they did.
God, fuck, I will cry.
Now. I'm stopping. Anyways, back to the movie.
Okay, the music box was actually after Ben, because I said she gone putty. She ain't doing shit when Ben was trying to get her to help, and she was just fucking space cased. Moving through the scenes, that was a whole ass sucker punch. Love a good news broadcast exposition where we get our fill of like the horrors that are happening. Carl, exclamation point. And then Carl, Mr. Cooper, has a point. I don't know what point I thought Mr. Cooper had, and I don't want to go back and revisit it and know, because any part of me that might have been agreeing with Mr. Cooper was a fucking moron, and I hope that part of me is choking in hell somewhere. Oh no, the boards ain't stopping shit is what Cooper was right about. Never mind, he was right about that. The boards ain't stopping shit.
Well, when you have, that's like I said, that's the whole like horde mentality, because it's not the 1, 2, 3 zombies that are outside, it's the 50, 60, 100, 150 zombies outside, where they eventually just bulldoze through anything that you're taking shelter in.
Right. Yeah, that leads us up and into it, because I think this is leading up to the zombies making their move on the house.
Well, they have the TV, the first TV broadcast.
Yeah,
we wheel the TV in, and then that's where you find out about the satellite falling actually from Venus, not Jupiter.
Okay, Venus.
Venus space probe that exploded in Earth's atmosphere, and they believe the radiation from that probe is what started the whole ghoul outbreak, because again, they do not officially call them zombies in the movie whatsoever.
Right.
But then they also reveal in the broadcast that if you a heavy blow to the head or a gunshot to the head is what is the only thing that actually stops the ghouls.
Yes, and this also brings up, rolls in to bring up the rescue stations, which gives them the idea that
Yes.
hey, we can escape. We should try to escape. Uh,
There's a truck. There's gas. Where's the key?
right. Oh hey, I found this key. Seems to It seems to be labeled for the gas pump.
Oh my god, and this is like just the absolute most idiotic part of the whole movie.
Uh, even before this, we have the inciting gunshot that starts drawing the attention of the
Oh
zombies.
yeah.
Um, and yeah, puts kind of a rush on them being able to get out and get things done. Tom, yeah,
Tom.
Tom. Tom gets chosen to go on the super special mission to unlock the gas tank and refuel the truck. And yeah, it leads up to maybe our least
So
favorite part.
basically the whole plan is Mr. Cooper is throwing Molotov cocktails from upstairs out the window to kind of keep the zombies away from the truck, while Ben fights off the zombies away from Tom while he unlocks the gas pump to gas up the truck that Ben arrived in. But as smart as Tom is, and I say that very sarcastically, just grabs the gas handle and just starts to spray gas everywhere instead of in the truck where there's Molotov cocktails and fire and everything else around, and proceeds to basically, well, this is where his girlfriend Judy comes out
Running
because, oh
out.
my god, I can't be away from him. And they both get in the truck. It's on fire, blows up, dead
You
because they're
know,
fucking dumb.
I, I don't want to believe that he was so dumb that he just grabbed it and started spraying the gas. Like maybe there was something wrong with the pump. Maybe.
He panicked
Yeah.
and sprayed gas everywhere. Let's
Yeah.
be
He's
real.
he's an idiot.
He was not the man for the job.
uh
But this basically leads to, since the truck is gone, Ben is outside by himself and trying to get back in the house because he had them nail the door shut just in case the ghouls couldn't get inside the house. And of course, Mr. Cooper on
fucking
the other side of the
Cooper.
door. This is my time to be the alpha dick. And then Ben busts through and just beats the living shit out of Mr. Cooper. And I'm not gonna lie, I love that part because Mr. Cooper fucking deserved it.
Yeah, Cooper. Cooper is
He
just
deserved it. And
and
then that's actually but that's actually the part where we actually see the ghouls eating Tom and Judy's remains.
delicious
And I
barbecue.
believe, yeah, I was gonna say, I believe your note was delicious barbecue, if I'm not mistaken.
We had okay. I can go over my notes real quick. For this selection of scenes, we had Ben is really over Cooper's shit. We had it's a good thing smokes were cheap back then. The way everybody in these movies fucking
Oh my god.
smokes.
Light up 3 puffs and
Throw
throwing it
that
on
shit
the
on the
fucking
ground.
floor.
I like even thinking that like Halloween, the nurse when they're driving to the institute and she's fucking just striking them and smoking them. She goes through like 2 cigarettes in that scene. Uh, People smoked a lot back then, apparently.
I mean, it was the cool thing to do.
I guess so, and it was doctor approved.
That was before the. I was gonna say that was before the surgical warnings that are on cigarettes
Right.
now.
They also during the broadcast they established the established the whole undead, unburied being an important feature. It's not people dragging themselves out of the graves; it's those that have died after the fact.
Yeah.
And yes, Venus, question mark. Man, they didn't stick to their stories. I don't know what that meant, but apparently somebody didn't stick to their story. Man, fuck kids, because there will always be a fuck kid somewhere in there. How can you smile like that all the time? And was she? When Tom and Judy are having their little chat, and he's like,
Judy.
"How can you smile like that all the time?" And I'm just like, "Was she
She
smiling?
was not smiling.
She didn't look
one
good there,
time at
bro.
all.
Nobody looks good right now."
She looked freaked the fuck out like everybody else in the house. She was not smiling, homie.
Uh, throwing those scary close to the truck, Mr. Cooper. When he's throwing the Molotovs out the window, like, I don't think you should have fire that close to a vehicle. It was like 2 feet away from the truck. And as we then later learn, yeah, you shouldn't have fire that close to the fucking vehicle, because I come up pretty close after
Because
to
Tom just
Welp GG Billy, who I meant Tom. Billy's the actor's name.
yeah. Tom literally just sprays gas all over the fire on the lawn right in front of the truck, and yeah.
My jacket's caught. Where did my jacket's caught come from?
Oh, I think that was when Judy was in the truck trying to get out.
Right.
When the truck was on fire, about ready to explode, and that's why Tom died too.
Yeah, Tom was trying to pull her
he
out.
was trying to help her. Yeah. Fuck your jacket, you're about to die.
The face says motherfucker. All right, so now my notes are caught up. The face says motherfucker. As Ben gets through the door and sees Mr. Cooper trying to kind of sneak away,
Beats
ignoring,
the
the shit out of him. Absolutely.
And takes his gun back.
Yep. Takes the fucking gun back. No fucking around. Let's see. Did I say Chief is kind of? Who the hell is Chief?
Oh, probably the sheriff, because that's when they go back to the
oh yeah,
that's
the
when they
chief.
That's where they have like the group kind of going town to town, wiping out the ghouls.
Yeah.
And trying to take back like civilization, basically.
While Mr. Cooper is getting his ass kicked, note that's the same hook he gave Barbara. Barbecue. We get to Tom and Judy being eaten by the zombies in the burnt out truck. It's kind of funny. Everyone's traumatized at this point. I have to get that gun. Okay, yeah, we're moving right along then. We are on point. So, scrolling on, we have the aesthetic of zombie arms through the window as they have themselves trapped inside.
Yeah, because the explosion from the truck starts gathering even more ghouls to the house.
They get another broadcast on the television, and this is where Chief comes in. The reporter Billy Cardell, who I think is actually has some credit to him as an actual reporter, interviewing the local sheriff. Love this man. He's such a badass. He's so certain about himself. But they're talking about the mysterious radiation in the area, how the levels have been increasing, suggesting the phenomenon is going to become even more widespread, which it does eventually. But the situation is going to. What's that?
By the way, correction. This is my mistake. Karen was the little girl. Helen's
the wife. Karen's the daughter. Yes.
Yes. That was my mistake.
We make the corrections. We're good. Nobody has to email us. Keep it to yourselves. But yes, they go to the broadcast talking about the radiation. It's going to get bigger, but they're certain they're going to get it under control soon. The reporter asks if ordinary people can fight off the attacks. Sheriff tells him, shots to the head, blows to the head, and fire will kill zombies or ghouls.
We burn the bodies after you kill them.
Yes, make sure that there is no chance of coming back. And I guess that would go for real people too. I imagine they burned a lot of real bodies after that as well. That's when power goes out, and we get.
And then the horde starts taking over the house and start punching through the barrier, like on the windows and all that. And
Cooper was right.
Well, this is the part where, Ben drops the gun to try to hold off, and then Mr. Cooper's like, "Oh, this is
Yeah.
gonna be my big moment," and picks up the gun and tries to basically tries to fight off Ben as the alpha, and then I believe Ben beats the shit off of him
Ben gets
again.
the gun off of him and shoots him.
Yeah, and literally just shoots him in the gut, and then as he's falling down the stairs into the
Oh man.
cellar right in front of his, again, quote
Sick
unquote,
daughter.
sick daughter.
Holy shit. Yeah. Like, very intense moment. I'm glad Carl. Sorry, not Carl. That's your real name. Mr. Cooper.
Cooper.
I'm glad Mr. Cooper got shot. He's a real piece of shit. He deserved it. Ben does not hesitate, which I get it.
No, he was tired of his shit.
Yeah, homie took the gun and then she fucking pulled it on you. Like, what? No, if you're gonna pull it on me, you better shoot. So Ben
You gotta pull the
paid it
gun.
back.
Better not hesitate, son.
Exactly. Ben did not hesitate. Sending him down into the cellar. Approaching Karen's seemingly lifeless body. Seemingly lifeless. Everybody's trying to hold off the zombies. I think it's about this point. Yes. This is when Barbara's. I have the note. Barbara's
Barbara
fight finally kicks
like,
in.
shows human life.
Right. And she goes out of the comatose state and goes immediately into fight mode.
Yeah, she definitely got out for flight mode and went immediately into fight mode.
Which, I mean, good for her. Good for her.
Which actually it was well, I think the scene I'm thinking of comes up a little, yeah, it comes up a little later because it shows Helen trying to like hold off the all the barriers and everything too, and then this is where Helen somehow goes downstairs.
Helen is holding
Oh,
off
yeah,
the
yeah,
zombies at this point. She's holding the
then
barricades, and
Barbara
that's when
comes-
Barbara comes back.
Barbara comes to help, and then Helen just kind of leaves her ass and goes downstairs.
Yeah.
It was like when half the group was in fight mode, the other half was in flight mode. When the half that went from flight mode to fight mode, the fight mode, the flight mode happened.
Right. Everybody just reserve.
Nobody was on the same page.
Everyone
throughout this whole
reverses
movie.
roles. Yeah. Yeah. And it's at this point Helen fucks off downstairs. Where?
Oh,
man. Oh man.
This scene.
More of that. More of
Literally-
that zombie intelligence here, because
Yeah, literally, she goes downstairs and sees her daughter Karen eating her dead father, and then she's in a state of shock, and she picks up. I don't even know what the object is that she picks up.
it's a
her daughter,
trowel. It's like a
trowel,
cement
okay,
trowel. Yeah, for spreading.
and then basically picks it up and just stabs her mom few
Repeatedly.
times in the gut.
Yeah.
yeah, a few times,
Helen
to where she is dead.
Helen hits the ground and just stays there.
Oh, she's just in a state of shock, like,
Right?
oh my god, my daughter is eating my husband.
And
And then, as much as I love that scene, the scene that happens after is when the zombies start breaking through the zombies start breaking through the house, and then you see Johnny,
it would be heartbreaking.
full blown zombie Johnny grabbing Barbara as she's trying to hold off the
She
barrier and all that.
she
ahead.
just kind of gives up because she's in shock, and she just gets kind of sucked
Yeah.
into the horde. I would say that this part would be heartbreaking if everything wasn't just chaos and ridiculousness at this point. I would feel like it would strike as heartbreaking seeing Johnny come back, but at this point I'm so thrown into chaos in the film that it's more funny because she just got her fight back and all, and she's up at the barricades, and now it's just like, well, that was short-lived. Bye, Barbara.
But Ben tries to save Barbara, but it's too late.
Yeah.
As she's being literally dragged through the house, outside the house,
Yeah.
and then that's when zombie Karen attempts to
Upstairs.
go after Ben. I think, does he shoot her?
Oh,
I don't think he shoots.
he
No, he
tosses
just
her.
tosses her to the side,
Yeah.
and then he goes down
Yeet.
into the yeah, goes down to the cellar, locks himself in there, and then basically just waits out the horde.
Mm-hmm. And that brings us up into the morning hours.
Well, I mean, first he shoots zombie
Well,
Helen and
yes.
zombie Mr. Cooper.
I mean, you got to take out the trash, of course. Cooper, not Helen. Helen's an angel.
I don't know. She was kind of a dick too, just leaving Barbara there when Barbara was trying to help her. But I digress.
Look, Helen has been handling some shit, being the pants of the relationship, and things are getting a little rough. I'm gonna forgive her. Helen gets a pass.
But,
Uh,
but yeah, that's when we get to the next morning, and the zombie horde has basically moved on, and then the sheriff and his gang um, basically catch up to the farmhouse, clearing out any straggling ghouls.
a bunch of fucking good old boy Billy badasses with perfect aim. Like
Definitely
homies,
not stormtroopers.
no, homies no scoping from like across the way with a revolver. I don't think
Yeah,
revolvers
I
work at
mean,
that range, but you know what?
it was pretty
It
impressive.
was impressive. Good on you. That is the power of the good old boy.
Yeah. And then that's when the sheriff sends some, oh, you guys go over there and check out the house. And instead of checking out the house, Ben is,
he
gets
hears the
upstairs,
noise. Yeah.
starts investigating of like what's outside and all that. And instead of the good old boys actually investigating the house, they just shoot anything they hear inside the house, and Ben gets it between the eyes and
Yeah.
dies.
Like they didn't even know what it was that was there. They just shot and they still hit him right square in the fucking head. Perfect aim.
And yeah, and then roll credits.
The ending I would say is the most tragic part of the film.
Yeah,
Uh,
which actually, through my reading of looking up stuff for this, there was a different ending that the producers wanted. They wanted Ben to live, and well, I'm blanking on his name. Dwayne Jones, the actor who played Ben,
mhm.
didn't think that was a good idea, especially with how racially divided the country was. Like that, he basically told them this would not be a good look for the black community.
Right.
Kill me in the movie.
If you set me as the sole survivor amidst a sea of
Exactly.
dead white
Oh,
people, it might
there would
not
be a
reflect
riot.
well.
So
Uh,
yeah, he definitely fought against that alternate ending of and that might have been where you were, because we had the discussion before, like, did Ben live in that movie? And I was like, oh, there's no way he lived in that movie. He got shot between the eyes.
yeah,
But that may have been where that came from, because
right,
that was the original ending, was he was supposed to live.
right. I want to say, like, I mean, good on him for making the call for what he felt was right, and
Yeah.
rallying and fighting
Mhm.
against it. I do think, I mean, you see it today where you get a Black Little Mermaid and everybody loses their fucking minds. You get a black character that is presented in a light that is maybe nicer. And I get a lot of people are like, oh, well, it's replacing the original content. That's not even the real point. It's just you're kind of like you're a dick box. Shut up. But yeah, you still see it today. So like I can see where he was coming from with it, but at the same time, being the dumb, overly supportive white person I am, I'm like, no, why aren't we like putting people on pedestals and making icons out of these out of minorities that need the exposure and need the footing, and especially during that time where race relations and racial tensions were huge, but we the America, the United States, the country was in an active battle pushing forward these ideas and agendas that, hey, maybe we all are the same and equal, like it's said in that one thing where all men are created equal or some shit. But yeah, so I can kind of see both sides of it. I can see wanting to put Ben as the hero in this, the final, the last survivor of this horrible event. Then I can also see his point for wanting to kind of cancel it and not put the African American community in that kind of spotlight.
Well, I mean, to be honest though, like, because if they did keep the original ending, like, yeah, people would be like completely against the movie, but think about how his life would be outside of the movie, like his actual life,
Right.
if he survived that in the movie.
Then
And
has to deal with
I mean, you talk about
angry
how
white
like
people on the street.
sport, you get, especially like, I know this has nothing to do with like movies and this movie in particular, but you get like sports betting now where like people are putting, bets down on sports, and then they are literally giving death threats to college kids because, oh, you didn't get enough points to give me my $50,000 that I put down on you.
Right. Play good for me.
Just imagine just imagine what's going to happen in this guy's life if, if he was like the lone survivor in a fictional movie, and all the white people are dead, and the one person that lives at the house is the one black man. And yeah,
it could be problematic for him personally.
He definitely made the right call
Right.
on how the movie should end, even though it is completely wrong how people would have reacted.
The times, boy howdy, we hated those times. Boy howdy, we hate these times. Boy howdy, time. It's flat circle, don't you know?
But I mean, but that is, that is how the movie ends, with just him investigating the people outside and shot.
Yep.
I think with that we can go to, well, I guess the
let me see here.
favorite kill of the movie.
Let's.
Which I think we both have the same one for this movie, if I'm not mistaken.
Just to wrap up the notes, I wanted to say I love the end credits.
Where it shows kind of like the pictures of like the
photography
the afterward. Yeah, that was really cool how they did that. I did enjoy that.
Yeah, the whole pretty much snapshots with the voiceover was really good. Fucking love that closeout. And the photography for it was also done by Romero.
That makes sense, because I'm pretty sure he was like, actually, wasn't he? Thought he was like an actual like photographer, wasn't he? Or I may be mistaken on that. No, like a photographer, but like, oh, I may have read that somewhere, or I could have just made that up just now. I'm not sure.
I mean, it's another thing to go back and learn. There's a lot. There's a lot to dive into with this film. There is so much in the background.
You could literally teach a whole course on just this movie alone.
Yeah, it is pretty wild. There's so much subtext that we didn't even get into. Just
we're not actual film critics. Again, we're just two people with a microphone that hit record.
Right. Two dummies with easy access. With that, now we can go into our favorites. We can go into the instant reslay portion of things here.
I believe we are in agreement on this one, but I'll let you go first.
We might be the best kill of this film. Ooh, I don't know. Helen was brutal. That might be it for me.
Yeah, like I said, I'm pretty sure we're in agreement on this one, because that was really, really good. That was really, it was shot very well, and just like the pure shock of her going down the stairs, seeing her daughter eating her father, and then taking the cement trowel and just stabbing repeatedly. It was good. It was really good.
If to not select the same as you, I will go all the way back and say Johnny, just because he had it coming. Fuck Johnny.
I respect it.
But otherwise, yeah, definitely Helen. Because that was probably the most brutal part of the film, and the most brutal kill of the film. Least necessary. I want to say Ben, but because we know the reason why Ben died, I can't say Ben. I think I don't have a most unnecessary. Everybody kind of
No, they all had it
everybody
coming.
kind of
Let's
had it
be real.
coming for one reason or
Yeah.
another.
Yeah, they all had it coming.
Yeah, I don't particularly feel anything was unjustified here. Uh, Dick killed by the zombies, reported by Tom. I must have missed that part. I meant that was maybe in the radio broadcast or maybe on one of the television broadcasts. We have I guess that falls into the favorite scene too, because
Yeah,
it was the most brutal
yeah.
scene.
'Cause
Best kill, best scene.
well, I will say that, and then like I said, when Johnny comes through, and then because like Barbara's finally like sprung into action for the first time throughout the whole movie,
Yeah.
and then sees Johnny, and then he's pulling her out of the house, and she just goes straight back into trauma mode. Like
Yeah.
that scene was really, really, really good.
Like I said, I feel it should have hit harder, but for some reason, maybe it was, like I said, maybe it was just the chaos of everything. That scene didn't hit as hard for me as I feel like it should have. Still, no, really good, and I totally agree. Just having her come out of that state and go immediately into fight, and then just having it ripped out of her, like,
Yeah.
yeah, no, good scene for sure, definitely. Well, in that case, do we have anything we want to wrap up on?
I think we pretty much covered it. Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and give some impressions real quick of some hot sauces then. I
Ooh.
would like to go ahead and say it's not a sponsorship. I am personally endorsing them. Horrifying hot sauce. You can find it at horrifyingco.com, I believe it is. I say they, it is one gentleman who makes all of his own homemade hot sauces, own peppers. He does all of the fermenting on them. A lot of love goes in these bottles, I am almost positive. I picked up 2 bottles from them. They are rated with movie ratings as far as their heat. And I believe I asked if there was a range of Scoville that those fall into, and I don't know that I got an answer. I don't think I did, but I might have, and I just didn't realize it. But I've got 2 that are supposed to be lighter. We'll start off with the Monolith Red, which contains red jalapenos, extra hot red, I believe it's New Mexican peppers, guajillo, and habaneros. It is it's supposed to have a little heat, very light heat. I'm just gonna get a dab. We're gonna tell you what it tastes like. This was actually made. He does with all of his own fruits and everything as well that goes into it. And they look really good. They sound really good. I'm not typically into sweet heats, but I got some of the less potentially sweet ones to try. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh, I like that.
Sounds like it's a favorite.
Yeah, that. Ooh. It's like an immediate, like, bam, it's right there on your tongue. Ooh. And you can taste the vinegar to it. Not sweet. It's made with light brown sugar, by the way, and agave. Ooh. Ooh. You can taste the lime in it, too. That's really good. We like that. We like that a lot. I'm definitely going to prove that one and say go buy yourself a bottle of Monolith Red. Not too spicy, sits on the tongue real well. Delicious flavor. You can really taste the fermenting in it. The next one, we got Shutteracha, which is his take on your classic sriracha, made with red jalapenos, guajillo, red New Mexicans, manzanas, and habaneros. Also with the agave syrup and light brown sugar and sesame seed oil. I got the thinner one because I don't like the thickness of sriracha and the way it just like sits clumped on shit. Maybe it's a texture thing. Ooh. Definitely get some of the garlic in that. That's really nice. Not really. There's no real heat to it. It's a sriracha, but that's really good. Holy shit. All right, so yeah, I definitely support and endorse. Go check them out. Like I said, horrifyingco.com. You can also find him on Twitter. I believe it's at horrifying. Might just be horrifying hot sauce or horrifying co. I'll have to double check that. I'll put it in the description. Either way. Yeah, so horrifying hot sauce. Ryan, thank you for the nice note on the inside of the box. You're very sweet. And thank you for the extra stickers in the box. Those look rad. The art's super fucking cool. I'm gonna take some pictures of the stickers to throw up. I definitely already put the bottles on the socials for all to see. Ugh. On that note, do we have any closing remarks? Anything we should be looking forward to? I know this coming, I already mentioned this coming Monday, which is the, 27th?
Yes.
Yeah, Monday the 27th. We'll have an upload. I don't know why I'm saying this, because this is all in the future. This is going to come out after. Hey, last week we had an upload of us playing Dead by Daylight and talking about our time with the game over the years, in honor of it being 8 years old this year. And as we keep going through events that they are releasing over the 8th anniversary, joined by our good buddy and my cousin, Make It Unclear. We're happy to have him there. And maybe next week after this episode, if you need a fill of something, if you're coming back to listen, there may be an episode of the Hobbesy Horror Sleepcast up, in which case we'll be doing a double or triple feature of Edgar Allan Poe readings, starting off with The Telltale Heart and moving through. Beyond that, I don't have any other notes. I don't have any other things to go over. Sorry about my voice crack there. You can find us over on all of the socials for the most part, Twitter, IG, Threads, and Blue Sky at Hobbesy Horror. You can also email us with any questions, comments, concerns. If you want to tell us what?
I was just going to say on that note, I think it's about time to pick the next movie.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Do we want to...
Yeah, because it is my pick now off of your list.
That's true.
And
shit.
I know I've definitely left you in suspense on this one.
I'm
but it is a... You're good. It is definitely a movie you have mentioned quite a few times, especially after it came out. And I was just in full refusal of watching it just because it looked dumb.
Oh?
But I've never seen this movie before. You and I believe your significant other watched it together, and that's how I knew of it. But the next movie will be Jennifer's Body.
Yes! The only one I didn't guess, and I'm so excited.
Yeah,
that...
literally the only one you didn't guess.
I'm going to tell you right now.
You guessed everything but that movie.
Jennifer's Body is so stupid in all the best ways. It's going to be a treat for you, buddy.
that was literally your ringing endorsement when it first came out.
So fucking stupid in all the best ways. But, you're going to like it.
But yeah, like I said, I'm pretty sure you were going to be more excited about this choice than me. But yeah, that will be the next movie we do, which I have never seen before. So
can't fucking wait. This is primo Megan Fox. All right. This is young, not yet run through by Michael Bay. Megan Fox.
Jennifer's Body came out after Transformers, didn't it?
It came out after the first. But...
Okay. With Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf.
I just love saying his name.
Actual cannibal, Shia LaBeouf.
But yeah, so yeah, that should be believe me, I'm going into that movie completely blind, and I don't know how that's gonna be.
I'm super excited because this is the first. This will be the first one that either of us will go blind on, because everything else we've seen before, everything else has been a classic so far.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think I have a movie or two you have not seen yet as well. So yeah, so we are going into at least one of us is blind into these movies, so it should be interesting.
I was gonna say, look, man, I've got a movie that neither of us have seen, so
yeah, that is true. Like that is very true. I was thinking about picking that one, but I just remembered how you gushed over Jennifer's Body, so I'm like, Fuck it.
Oh, yeah.
We picking that one.
This will be fun. This will be good. All right. All right. Anyway, sorry that I tried to jump the gun on that and get ahead of you on that.
Oh, no, you're good. You're good. That's why I was trying to interject, but not but still let you get everything
No,
out.
absolutely. No, just jump in and say, shut up. Shut the fuck up. You're wrong. That's fine. But yes, okay. Anyway, Jennifer's Body next week. Can't wait. That's gonna be great. You're gonna love it. I hope you're gonna love it because I fucking love it.
We'll see.
But yes, as I said, social media is all the things at Hobbesy Horror. And also you can email us at hobbesyhorror@gmail.com if you have any questions, concerns, corrections, anything you want to throw out there. You just want to say hi, whatever. I want to talk to people. That would be cool. You can find me over personally on my social at HobbsyVT on Twitter and X, and at that Hobbsy on IG Threads and all that good shit. Also, I stream on Twitch sometimes at that Hobbsy on Twitch. RJ, your plug.
It's at RJWare89.
Thank you so much. What do you do on your feed?
I read up on sports. That's the only thing I use Twitter for.
Go yell at RJ about
It's
sports.
literally the only thing I use Twitter for is to get sports news faster.
Go yell at RJ about sports. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us on today's episode of the Hobbsy Horror Screencast Bros. We will see you next time. Take care of yourselves. Bye.